Hi guys, in today's lesson we will be talking about verbs and sentence shapes/functions. So first up we're going to talk about syntactic structure. So we're going to start with the syntactic structure because it might be a little bit easier to see limitations on sentence types if we ignore function for the moment and just analyze these basic prototypical patterns according to syntax. So if we're only looking at syntax, then by basic prototypical patterns, we mean those made up of the obligatory syntactic components, the verb phrase, the noun phrase, and the adjective phrase. So looking at syntactic shapes, here we have some examples. So the first one is the noun phrase plus the verb plus the adjective phrase. The old man felt good. Next up, we have the noun phrase plus the verb plus the noun phrase. He is a great fish. Next up, we have our more simple sentence, the noun phrase plus the verb. The fish was circling. And then here we move on to our more complex structures. Noun phrase plus verb plus noun phrase plus noun phrase. I'll give him the belly meat. And then noun phrase plus verb plus noun phrase plus adjective phrase. It made the boy sad. From this list, we can see that, for example, while the third pattern contains a noun phrase and a basic verb phrase only, this pattern in any of the other sentences would result in ungrammatical sentences, as for example, the old man felt, he is, I'll give, and it made. Also ungrammatical would be, I'll give him, and it made the boy. Next up, we're going to talk about functional patterns. So first up, we have our linking verb patterns. And these are actually the more simplified versions. This is the subject and the verb, and then the subject complement, and then next is the subject and the verb, the subject verb direct object, subject verb indirect object, direct object. We're just using the O's to simplify, and then complex transitive, subject verb direct object, object complement. So this is just a more quick guide to your functional patterns. But if you want a more detailed version, I'd recommend looking at the direct object and the indirect object parts of it. And here are some sentence examples. I don't really feel the need to go through them right now, but screenshot them if you're helped. And I understand the labels for these categories may seem a bit cumbersome, and compared to the simple syntactic shapes, this format may make it more difficult to visualize the overall system. But these are still good to know and be somewhat familiar with when constructing a simple sentence. And that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. Make sure you do some practice with these, and thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you next time.